How do you feel knowing that your daughter's out doing this and kind of at the end listening to her say, well, you know, respect me for what I do as a prostitute or get out of my life?
I am beyond upset. I'm never going to get out of her life. I've told her this many times. And that's why I'm here.
Right. But how does it happen? Because I'm sure your daughter was a sweet young girl one minute, and now she's this very hard-edged woman that's living on the streets as a prostitute.
Star had a bone disease called leg perthes, and she was retarded in her growth. She had to wear braces that weighed as much as she did at 3 years old. And we babied her, and we gave in to her, and we let her get away with too much, and she got the upper hand. And once your child gets the upper hand, you need really solid advice on how to get back that control. And I never got that advice. I sought it, but it never worked. And the more we tried to get her under control, by 9, 10, 11, she was completely out of control, and we were doing damage control.
Did you have a good relationship with your daughter growing up?
Passive aggressive, not knowing how to deal with her, trying everything under the sun, not trying anything long enough, not trying hard enough, I guess, because...
And your relationship with her now?
I love her more than anything in life, and I can't accept what she's doing, but I love her, and I'll never stop loving her.
Why do you think she's doing this?
Partly because she went into programs at 11 years old. Big mistake. I thought I was seeking help. I think it made the situation way worse. And she has absolutely no living skills. She's like a 12-year-old as far as living skills in a 23-year-old body.
Just a little bit that you're telling me, it almost feels, from what I'm hearing, is you're blaming yourself for some of these things.
Yeah, I blame myself for a lot.
How and when did you find out that she was a prostitute?
When she was about 18, she had taken off and was with a family member and started stripping and drugging and eventually prostituting, because that's pretty much where that goes. And then she got arrested, and that's when I really found out. I had a pretty good idea, but she lies a lot. And she got arrested, and I went down and talked to the judge and got her out from Maine, got her out of going to jail. Big mistake. I should have sent her right to jail right then and there. But I thought I was doing the right thing by bringing her home and trying to get her into programs and trying to do it outpatient. Huge mistake. The second time she got arrested, she went for a year. And I thanked God every single day, because I knew she was alive, and I knew she was safe, and I knew she wasn't prostituting, and I knew she might get some help and education. And I stayed in contact with her for that year, but then when she got out, she went right back to it.
Why are you here today?
Because I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. My next step is to go with a bunch of export prostitutes and go walk the tracks and find her. And my husband won't let me do that.
When was the last time you saw your daughter?
March of last year.
You haven't seen your daughter in almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't call you on your birthday, Mother's Day?
No, we talk all the time.
Oh, you talk on the phone?
I haven't seen her.
But you haven't seen her in a long time?
No.
Your daughter, Star, is here. You haven't seen her in a year. Let's bring her out.
My business. This is none of your business. I'm 23 years old. This has been going on for years and you haven't been there yet. Why are you trying to be there now? I do everything for myself.
I pick up the phone.
I pay my bills. Pick up your phone.
I go
What does picking up your phone do? Nothing.
I go miles from Maine to Massachusetts to see you in jail.
One time.
3 times.
From 12 up, I was behind bars.
I'm not going to sit here and go back.
You don't need to sit here and go back and forth about nothing.
I was there.
This is my life. I'm 23 years old.
I was there.
You didn't have me. You didn't deal with me when I was 12. Don't try to deal with me when I'm 23. Period.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I had you. I love you.
You had me and you lost me.
And I love you.
Period.
I didn't.
You named me and you lost me.
You're still right here.
You named me and you lost me. Did you raise me?
Right here.
When I became a woman, did you teach me how to be a woman? No.
Star, I did quite a bit.
You did nothing.
Quite a bit.
You were an alcoholic. You beat me.
Were you abusive to your daughter at times?
I'll tell you, I've lost my temper with Star. But did I punch her? Did I throw her to the floor? Did I put her? No, none of this stuff.
Why are you lying?
So I'm going to ask you to leave the stage. I want to talk to Star one-on-one, and at some point I'll bring you back out, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, and how old are you now, Star?
I'm 23 years old.
And how long have you been a prostitute?
On and off since I was 13.
Since you were 13 years old. So the first time you did this, you were 13.
I was 13 turning 14.
Scared when you started doing it?
More or less, I was scared of getting caught because I had ran from a facility. And if I got caught, that means I'm going back to that facility, so.
Boy, 13 and 14. And I think, most 13 and 14-year-olds, you have dreams, right? Did you have dreams of becoming something?
I wanted to be a vet.
You wanted to be a veterinarian?
Yes, I love animals.
You say, it's like prostitute's a lot like being a police officer.
Yes, I do.
And I guess times I felt like a prostitute,
No. On the aspect of when you put your vest on every day to go to work when you were a cop, you never knew if you were gonna make it home or not.
That's right.
Just like when I put my heels and my thong on every day to go to
Okay.
work, who knows if I'm gonna make it home that night?
Right. But the point is, you do carry a weapon to work.
Damn right, you did too.
Because I was a cop.
I'm a prostitute.
And I had to effect an arrest.
And I have to.
I had to lock people up.
Okay.
You don't have to lock people up.
I have to protect myself from people that need to be locked up.
Only because you choose to put yourself in very dangerous positions.
And you chose to put yourself in very dangerous
Because that was my job.
This
Your
is my
job is not to do that.
This is my job. This is what I do on a daily basis. This is my 9 to 5. I wake up in the morning, I post up, sometimes I'll go out on the track at night, I get my money, and I call it a day. I go home and I sleep in my bed the same way you do. I work a job just like you do. Every day I clock in and I clock out just like you do.
So how do you think this is all going to end someday?
I project my end to be owning my own business with offshore accounts.
I'm curious as to what type of business you're hoping to get into.
I want to start a dog kennel.
Because the whole veterinarian thing,
Yes,
right?
I breed. I have a 7-month-old pit right now.
Okay, so let me ask you something. I have no idea how much these things cost, dog kennels and stuff. How much money would that take to start a dog kennel?
$10,000.
Okay, and you make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Well, how long would it take you to make $10,000?
Well, a lot of things came up in the last year.
I could write you a check for $10,000 right now, and you're not going to start a dog kennel.
Why not?
Because I just know you.
You don't know me.
You know what? Again, the same thing I tell abusers on my stage, and I'll tell you. Just because I met you right now, I know you, and I've met you a million times before you've ever at my stage.
You're very wrong.
I'm not very wrong.
You are very wrong.
Do you know how many girls said the same thing that you're saying to me right now?
You're wrong.
You're wrong, Officer Wilkos. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You are very wrong.
And then the sad thing was,
don't know me.
the sad thing, the worst ones were when I had to say, yeah, that's Regina, put her in the bag. Put her in the bag.
I'll never go in the bag.
Or, yeah, that's so-and-so, let's take her to lockup.
I've been to lockup. It ain't nothing.
And then when you're in lockup for really, really long periods of time?
I was.
Okay, and you like that?
It's not about liking it, but due to the fact that I grew up in juvenile facilities, it's nothing.
Yeah, but you're not in juvenile facility anymore.
Okay.
You're not a poor little kid.
I'm not
You're
saying
obviously
that.
a tough woman that's got some brains about her. Why not make your life so you don't have to deal with those type of situations?
Why change my life to a custom society when I'm my own person? Why change what I do because somebody else wants me to do it? I'm not going to change until I'm ready to change. I'm not going to do what somebody else wants me to do because they want me to do it. This is me. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is what I will do.
You are tearing communities apart. When there are prostitutes, prostitutes lead to drugs, drugs lead to violence, violence leads to crime. And when there's people like you walking around soliciting, you're bringing in all the dregs of society, you're tearing apart neighborhoods, you're tearing apart communities.
I'm not
no
tearing
matter
apart
what you say.
neighborhoods. I'm not tearing apart neighborhoods.
Now, I have a woman here. Her name is Kathryn. I believe she's been on a show before. And she's a woman that's lived your life and is doing a lot of good with her life now. I want to bring her out, and hopefully she can talk to you and make some sense. Her name's Kathryn. Let's bring her out.
Wow, you like being a hoe?
Yeah, I do.
And then you want to do this for the rest of your life?
I didn't say
Baby, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing worse than a woe-out old rusty hoe. But I'm going to tell you something else, you know. I've been there. I've done that. Got the T-shirt. Can drop it like it's hot at 51. And let me tell you something. Baby, baby, baby. All my days doing what you do, I thought it was poor old me. Hell, my mama left me on the table the day she had me. I'm 51, she ain't made it back yet. Must be a long way back. But guess what? I made it. You know, you're 23, you're beautiful, you're very smart, very aggressive. You've got an answer for everything. You've got this thing covered. I got it. But let me tell you a little something else. Because at 23, this ear was cut off. This face has been rebuilt. I promise not to take my teeth out on stage. This arm was broken in 3 places. I had no skin on this entire side of my body. I have to wear heels because I have a fractured hip. Yes, I have 3 wonderful daughters who, thanks be to God, did not follow in their mother's footsteps. And you know what? I see almost 200 young ladies just like you in my program every day that been there, done that, and guess what? You want to be a vet? I've got just a place to get you everything you need. You can become a vet.
Kathryn, I want to thank you for coming back on the show. Last time I was on, you're a very impressive woman, and you've done a lot with your life. Why don't you tell the audience about your program?
I am the founder of We've Been There, Done That. I rehabilitate women who have been in prostitution, human trafficking, children who are sex slaves, people that have had incest, molestation, mental, physical, and verbal abuse, and those that have suffered from substance abuse. By the way, my drug habit was $30,000 a month for 22 years. Wow. I'm 8 years clean and sober. You're so pretty. See, this wonderful young lady, because I don't care all that hardcore stuff. I get that. But as hardcore and as strong-willed as she is just, there's a woman in there waiting to come out that can help other people that have suffered just like her. Oh my God, you'd be so good to help others.
We've all come to certain points of our life, points in the road where you make a left or a right. And we don't always make the right decision. I'm glad you came on the show, because at least with you, I got my chance at the bat, you know? I used to play baseball, love baseball, follow baseball. And I always, you know, compare it with life. And with life, you're a pitch to me. And at least I got to take a swing to help you. Now, I might strike out. In a minute here, I'm gonna ask you to pick a door, and I might strike out. And too bad for me, right? And it'll be too bad for you too.
Won't be too
But the
bad
good
for me.
thing is,
It won't be too bad for me.
you know what the good thing for me is? Tomorrow, the next day, I'll be standing right up here at the plate again, swinging at somebody else, trying to help them. Every time I look at a young girl like you, I'm looking at my own daughter.
Take control and care of your daughter more than my parents did, so that she doesn't end up like me.
And you know what? And I'm listening to you, and I'm going to do that. So now I'm going to say, are you going to give me a chance? Because you could go out that door and be with Kathryn and go on this program, which cost you nothing, with just your time and trying to better yourself as a human being. Or you could walk out that door and go back to the streets and continue living your life.
I don't live the streets. I have a home.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
And that's what I'm saying. Go back on the streets.
I'll be back on the streets tonight.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show. I always tell people that this show is for real. It's for real.
This is real.
And at every show, I can't put a tiny, pretty ribbon on every show and say, ooh, I succeeded. No, this is real life. And just like as a cop, I couldn't help everybody. And on this show, I can't help everybody. I try, but it just doesn't work that way. Star, I wish you nothing but the best. But Kathryn's out that door. And if you don't want Kathryn's help, you can go out that door.
Have a good day.